This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill were able to avert a government shutdown at the last minute over the weekend, but the intense battle over federal spending hasn't cooled, and the rebellion within the House Republican Conference is heating up. Alex Miller reports the measure passed and signed by the president gave lawmakers until November 17th to finish work on spending legislation for fiscal year 2024, which began on Sunday. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, meanwhile, faces a rebellion that could oust him from the speakership. Mallory Wilson and Kerry Pickett report House Republicans are under pressure to muscle through full-year appropriations bills and confront the Democratic-run Senate and President Biden over federal debt and spending. On Friday, 21 hardline conservatives rejected a bill that catered to Republicans with a 30% cut to domestic spending and border security measures. McCarthy then offered a clean bill without spending cuts or policy changes for a vote on Saturday, which passed. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz has threatened for months to use a motion to vacate against McCarthy. He said Sunday that the last straw was his reliance on Democrats to pass that clean bill. The Supreme Court opens its term with its 9 justices engaged in public sniping over ethics rules and with nerves still somewhat frayed from the end of the last term in June. Stephen Dinan reports the court's conservative majority issued rulings striking down race-based college affirmative action programs, sided with artists in a dispute over doing business with same-sex couples, and ruled against President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. Cases coming up on the fall docket include whether Congress can cede its spending powers to an independent executive branch regulatory agency, how much deference judges should show executive branch agencies in their interpretation of laws written by Congress, and cases involving social media platforms and gun rights. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain has demanded increased government subsidies for the auto industry and resurrected the class warfare rhetoric that the labor union abandoned decades ago. Jeff Murdoch reports Fain has pledged a more militant approach at the bargaining table. He told UAW members that their one and only true enemy is multi-billion-dollar corporations that refuse to share profits. That rhetoric has carried over into the union strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. Fain has cast the strike, which began September 15th, as a battle between blue-collar workers and wealthy elites. And finally, a State Department report finds China's government is stepping up disinformation efforts worldwide. Bill Gertz reports the department's Global Engagement Center found that China has shifted to embracing the coordinated use of disinformation when it suits its purposes, often using inauthentic bot networks to amplify messaging. It describes the operations as highly sophisticated media and government influence underwritten by billions of dollars in investments. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.